Welcome to Reflect with Ed Fassio. Get ready to experience one of the world's first 100% digitally generated podcasts, where we take a step back, dive deep, and strive to learn new things. Join us as we unpack thought-provoking ideas, personal reflections, and inspiring stories to help you stay in the know. Reflect is brought to you by the minds at ByteBrain and powered by emerging technologies from Google, HeyGen, OpenAI, and 11 Labs. Thanks for tuning in. Now, relax and prepare to reflect.
Welcome to Reflect, one of the world's first 100% AI-generated podcasts. I'm Julius and Hale. Something happened at a graduation ceremony this week that I can't stop thinking about.
What happened?
A commencement speaker at the University of Central Florida stood up in front of thousands of graduating students and said, "The rise of artificial intelligence is the next industrial revolution."
And?
The entire graduating class booed her, loudly, in the middle of a commencement ceremony, on what was supposed to be the best day of their academic lives.
At graduation.
At graduation, the speaker paused, tried to recover, and kept going. One student told a reporter, it felt like she did not know the crowd she was speaking to. It did not feel particularly inspiring for a bunch of young people about to enter the workforce in creative fields.
These aren't people who are afraid of technology. They spent 4 years becoming artists, designers, storytellers, and watched an entire category of tools get built specifically to do what they trained to do.
And someone just stood at a podium and told them, that's the future, and they should be excited about it.
Gen Z is the most digitally native generation in history. They're not afraid of technology. They use it constantly. What they're rejecting is something more specific.
One of the art students put it perfectly. She said, generative AI can only spit things out that already exist. And I think a lot of artists, we want to tell stories from our own personal experiences. We want to create things that don't exist yet.
That's a value statement. What I make comes from somewhere. It comes from my life, my experiences, my specific human perspective. A system trained on the internet can't replicate that.
And the frustration isn't just philosophical, it's economic. These students are entering a job market where skills they spent 4 years developing are now being partially automated. The industry's response has been adapt, upskill, learn to use the tools, which is fine advice. But it's also a little like telling someone whose livelihood is flooding to just buy a better boat.
The AI industry has a people problem. The conversation about AI adoption is almost entirely driven by enterprise leaders, investors, and executives. The people who will live inside AI-augmented workflows for the next 40 years are largely not in that conversation. They're being talked about, not talked to.
The Industrial Revolution analogy is particularly tone-deaf. Yes, it created enormous wealth. It also displaced entire classes of skilled workers and took generations to produce broadly shared prosperity. When you invoke that in front of people worried about their economic futures, you're not being inspiring. You're being historically illiterate.
Trust is not a given. It has to be earned. And right now, for a significant portion of the workforce, especially young creative professionals, that trust has not been earned.
The speed of capability development has completely outpaced the social contract that would make people feel safe in that world. Crediting the human work that trained these models, building economic structures that share the productivity gains broadly, none of that has happened at scale.
And the class of 2026 knows it. They've watched the rollout. They know whose work got ingested into the training data and who got compensated for it. The answer to that last question is almost nobody.
Your move.
If you're building AI products, the booing at UCF is not a PR problem. It's a trust problem. The question isn't how to message this better. It's how to build something the next generation actually wants to be part of.
If you're a creative professional, your instinct to protect your distinct human perspective is right. That's your actual competitive advantage. Be very intentional about which parts of your workflow you automate and which parts you keep human. Thanks for listening to the Reflect podcast, where we're telling the future. Are you in it? Visit reflectpodcast.com and share your story.
They booed. The mic didn't drop, but the message did. See you Tuesday.
In the cyber ocean of online voices and recycled content, something different has arrived. Reflect isn't just another podcast, it's the future of storytelling, powered entirely by AI. From curating data to assembling thought-provoking ideas, we've redefined how journeys are told. Reflect is a podcast that thinks, learns, and evolves with each episode. Every tale, every insight, crafted by the most advanced AI technologies. A podcast that disrupts the industry, breaking free from traditional formats, taking you on an entirely new experience. So tune in now and reflect. We're telling the future.